Shalom, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. I ain't gonna be too long. My name is Moshe Ben Yasharel, your hostess with the mostest. Um, like, share, and subscribe. This is for educational purpose only. This is a disclaimer. For educational purposes only. Um, Copyright. So, we're living in a time where, uh, there's a lot of information. You know what I mean? Uh, to the point to where, a lot of people, in the last days will be deceived because, um, the information is so rampant. You know what I'm saying? You got people believing in, Egyptology and uh, believing in, you know, every other religion. You know what I mean? Um, and just know that, I'm not speaking to everybody. If you don't want to hear what I'm saying, opt out. Don't hide it. Get rid of it. Silence it. Whatever. But to those that want to know, who want to know the truth, you see what I'm saying? Because our responsibility and obligation is to save souls. And what is it to save souls? It's basically to you know, uh, lead the horse to the water. We can't make you drink. We can only lead you to the water. And so, we know that Yahushua HaMashiach is the water. So we can only lead you to Torah, but it's up to you to uh take action, But I'm on here because I wanted to, give you some facts, to back up, the information that I give you as far as, when I'm going into the scriptures and I'm telling you about Yahushua HaMashiach, it's, in every religion, the name of Yahushua comes up, whether it be Buddhism, whether it be, um, uh, what was his name? Gandhi. I remember when I went to trial, my lawyer, gave me, I forgot his name, but it's Gandhi though. Mirmar Magandhi or something like that. I can't think of it. I'm not good with a lot of names, but anyway, even he was talking about Yahusha, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And my point is this: is that there's a lot of debate about where the land is. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of debate about the Negroes, being the indigenous people of Amarex or whatever they want to call it, you know what I'm saying? And, that is the deception. You see what I'm saying? Because the devil, in Hebrew means deceiver. And so, we were fooled into believing that, Christopher Columbus discovered America, you know what I'm saying? But we have to understand that, they were selling the seas way before Christopher Columbus ever stepped foot over here. You see what I'm saying? They had already had the ability to sell the seas. And even, I was thinking the other day, like, they still can't figure out how, I think it was the Aztecs that, that went upstream against the current. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that they were already selling the world before Columbus ever came. When you say, indigenous people, you know, they were already traveling. You know what I mean? Even across the Bering Strait. You see what I'm saying? They were traveling, whether they walked or whether they sailed, because, the Bering Strait would freeze up and it would basically be a bridge for them to cross, over into North America, or what we would consider to be Canada. But my point is this, and I ain't gonna be too long, that the information, is right in the palm of your hand. If you go look it up, the Balfour Declaration. And the Balfour Declaration was basically 19 they got one in 1917 because I'm looking at it right now. But the Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Excuse me. And so what you have to understand is that the Most High had already prophesied through his prophets that he was going to divide up the land of Yasharel, and he was going to kick them out if they did the same thing that the Canaanites, who possessed the land before us, the giants, excuse me, that he would kick us out too if we did what the Canaanites did, who were there before us. And so you have to understand that the very thing that the Canaanites was doing in the land was the very things that Torah spoke against. Bestiality, incest, adultery, fornication, idolatry, all these things that, they were doing in the land at the time that they occupied it, when they went in to conquer the land. And so you have to understand that that the Balfour Declaration is how the people who currently occupy the land are there in the land. Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9. And then there's a book out, the 13th Tribe, I think it is. You should pick it up and read it, because the guy who wrote the book, he was a Jewish person, and he went back and did all the chronological order, of from how it got to which, the Ashkenazi Jews, is what Sephardic Jews, if that's what you want to call them, how they got there. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm saying this as evidence for you to go look these things up, because, you have a lot of people who are claiming, well, we were in Egypt, and Egyptology, that's who we are, and, the ancestors, and, all this other stuff, but the only statement that the Bible makes about our ancestors is about us laying with them, which, we too shall, one day depart this earth, and we shall lay in Sheol with them too. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that, if you are looking for facts, and you want to do your research, and you want to know the truth, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, Egypt existed. The same gods that they were serving in Egypt, they're serving now. You see what I'm saying? The same practices, that they practice. That's where Masonry comes from. Freemason. But see, the thing is that it actually goes back to Babylon. Because again, Babylon was before Egypt was the first civilization before Egypt. And this is why Daniel had the dream of the statue with the head of gold, because that represented Babylon. If you go read about the statue, it'll tell you, because the Bible is always going to confirm itself. So it'll tell you that the head was Babylon, and that the chest was Persia, and then the waist of bronze was Medo-Persia. You just got to go read it, because I can't tell you verbatim. You know what I'm saying? But it was Medo-Persia, then Greece, then Rome, and then where we're at now in Anglo-Saxon, which is the toes and the iron and the clay. The feet, which is the last kingdom. And so, just to give you the information, you gotta go pick these books up. You see what I'm saying? And read these books. Even like Chancellor Winsor Chancellor, I think that's his name, from Babylon to Timbuktu. You gotta go read these books, because this is the research. You see what I'm saying? This is why you got to go read those books, man, so you can really understand that, man. So I just want to hop on here real quick and just kind of introduce you to, the Balfour Declaration, if nobody has ever if nobody has ever exhibited that to you. How is the Balfour Declaration related to World War I? The Balfour Declaration, signed by the British Foreign Minister, stated that Britain supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The declaration, issued in the midst of the First World War, was intended to garner support from the British war effort. But and that's when, the Jews of 1948 became a state, supposedly. You know what I mean? But in order for you to understand who is who, you have to understand prophecy, because, although they talk about, the Holocaust, you know what I'm saying, does that fit the prophecies that are related to the people that the Most High said was his people? You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's important for you not only to research outside of the Bible, because although the Bible is to for the spiritual aspect, there is a physical aspect of knowledge we have to learn, so that in these last days we won't be fooled. Shalom, peace, and blessings. Like, share, and subscribe.